If you remove the head of a venomous snake from its body, there's no way it can still bite you, right? Wrong. A snake's decapitated head could still latch onto you with its sharp fangs and unleash all its lethal venom into your bloodstream. I know what you're thinking. How is that physically possible? And why would the snake attack after it's dead? Well, that's what Jeremy Sutcliffe thought when this happened to him in 2018. Jeremy was cleaning his backyard when he heard his wife Jennifer screaming from the other side of the property. As he rushed to help her, he realized how serious the situation was. He heard the chilling rattle of a rattlesnake. The reptile had cornered his wife against the wall of the house and wouldn't let her escape. Jeremy grabbed a shovel in an attempt to scoop away the deadly snake, but it was impossible. The creature was becoming increasingly agitated and aggressive. Jeremy only had one option to save his wife. He raised the shovel and severed the snake's head. Jennifer went inside to calm down. Her heart was pounding as Jeremy continued cleaning outside. Things seemed to settle down, but the nightmare was far from over. A few minutes later, Jeremy decided it was time to dispose of the snake's body. He cautiously reached for a stick near the snake's head to remove it without touching it, but the snake's head made a sudden movement and sunk its fangs deep into his hand, piercing his bones. Its jaws clenched tightly onto his flesh, refusing to release. Jeremy could feel the venom coursing through his body, causing excruciating pain. He tried to shake the snake off, but the struggle only made the venom flow through his veins faster, reducing his already slim chances of survival. How did the snake's head attack with such speed and precision? Why can a dying reptile be more dangerous than a living one? And what allowed Jeremy's wife to save his life? You know, it's pretty remarkable what the animal kingdom is capable of, and it needs protecting. Many people want to give back to nature, but they don't know how. Well, later on in this video, I'll introduce you to my friends at Planet Wild. They've got the perfect solution. Stick around until the end of this video and you'll be restoring our environment from your couch in no time. Oh, and did I mention we have a free gift for you too? More on that later. Let's start by explaining how a headless snake could still be a real pain in your butt, or hand in Jeremy's case. Due to a reptile's slower metabolism and the reduced need for oxygen in their brains compared to mammals, their organs can remain functional long after being severed from their heart, allowing them to make desperate efforts to stay alive and defend themselves. After Jeremy's ordeal, experts offered various explanations for the snake's reaction. Some argued that the snake might not have been aware it had lost its body, and the extreme pain from decapitation drove it into a violent state, compelling it to defend itself vigorously. In 2014, a chef in China was preparing a soup that required him to decapitate a spitting cobra. 20 minutes after removing its head, he went to discard it, but in an instant, the head bit him. The chef was overcome by the bite before receiving the antivenom. Okay, getting back to Jeremy's story. When the fangs pierced his flesh, they injected a substantial amount of venom and caused an extreme amount of pain. It felt like having his hands crushed by a massive weight. For some reason, maybe due to the snake's loss of control over its body, it refused to release its grip and continued to clamp onto his hand. Jeremy summoned up all his strength and managed to detach one fang, but unfortunately, the snake's jaws proved stronger and the fang pierced another part of his hand, injecting even more venom. Jennifer heard his agonized screams and rushed to find the snake's head still attached to Jeremy's hand. As a trained nurse, she understood that her husband's life hung by a thread. She put him in the car and dialed 911 to determine which nearby hospital had the necessary antivenom to save him. Unfortunately, the closest one was more than an hour away. She knew he needed the antivenom within 30 minutes of the bite.
His kidneys were completely failed. They didn't know if or when they would ever come back.
Ultimately, Jeremy was airlifted to a hospital and got the antivenom.
A normal person that gets bit is going to get anywhere from 2 to 4 doses of antivenom. He had to have 26 doses.
He survived, but not before he learned a painful lesson about zombie snakes.
I ended up losing both fingers. The diagnosis now is I have megacolon because of the nerve damage in the stomach.
Jeremy says doctors still don't know how he survived this freak accident, but he says he's glad he did.
A dying snake will probably attack because of the extreme pain it's feeling and to make one last effort to survive. Now, identifying the early signs of a live snake attack could be trickier. If you see one coiled up like this, it may be too late. But don't worry, we'll show you how to prevent an attack here on How to Survive. Hey, don't click off just yet because you still haven't received your free gift.
Oh yeah.
Look, we think Planet Wild is so important that we will cover the first month of subscription for the first 200 people who sign up with them. Planet Wild is an organization that works to restore global ecosystems and documents all their work on their YouTube channel for full transparency. If you sign up for a subscription with them, you'll be funding their monthly missions to preserve our nature and wildlife. And you can follow along every step of the way to see the impact your contribution is making, firsthand through the app or the YouTube channel. Look, I've been a member for a while now, and I love it because I can see exactly where my money goes and what kind of a difference I'm making. If you want to make the same kind of impact, well, scan this QR code or click on the link in the description and use our creator code, HowToSurvive.